Jacqueline Cochran is a name that is well known here in the Valley. The airport in Thermal is named after the pioneering pilot who died in her Indio home in 1980. Cochran's contributions to aviation and the advancement of women in flight are many, and they are on display in a new exhibition at the Quinta Museum. The Women in Flight exhibit at the Quinta Museum travels a timeline of women who looked beyond their time in terms of what was expected and accepted of women.
Why don't you ever tell a wasp that flying's not a woman's job? They wouldn't believe it any more than if it was said a girl can't be a good flyer and a woman.
That clip comes from a newsreel produced by the United States Armed Forces explaining the Women's Air Force Service Pilots, better known as the WASPs, founded by Jacqueline Cochran.
Go up to receive their wings from the top woman pilot of them all, the founder of the WASP, Miss Jacqueline Cochran. Each WASP, like other women in other services, has achieved no little thing. She's gone into a man's world because the men needed her. Gone through a tough ordeal as just a girl and come out a girl pilot with the U.S. Army Air Force.
The newsreel shows you a little of what women were up against. The fact is, WASPs were needed to ferry planes to American male fighter pilots in World War II. 25,000 women tried out to be WASPs. Less than 1,100 made it. Less than 300 are alive today.
The program was disbanded in 1944 as soon as the government saw that the war was coming to an end. And so these women had flown every type of U.S. aircraft, everything from steerman trainers to fighters to bombers. They flew everything.
There was no combat, but plenty of bravery and patriotism. Sadly, there wasn't much recognition for the WASPs.
There were no medals, there was no military pension, there was nothing. Basically, it was thanks, and you can go home now.
The women could go home at any time during training. One reason the armed forces did not bestow the same honor upon them as they did male pilots.
On the other hand, they went through all the same paces as any military pilot would. They went through the same basic training. They stayed at the same barracks, and they were even charged to stay at the barracks. They paid $1.65 a day to have a roof over their head.
The government finally bestowed veteran status on the WASPs in 1977. They received victory medals 7 years later, 40 years after the war ended.
So in 1984, the WASP pilots got their World War II victory medal in the mail in a plain brown envelope. No ceremony, no nothing.
The WASPs are being honored here with a first-class exhibit in La Quinta, and on March 10th, the remaining WASPs will receive a Congressional Gold Medal.
They are getting, at long last, that recognition that they need.
Founding the WASPs was just one of the many contributions of Jacqueline Cochran. She also funded the Mercury 13 program to identify possible women astronauts, a program that NASA shut down. You can learn much more about Cochran and other women in flight at the Quinta Museum, where admission is always free. They are open Tuesday through Saturday. We'll be right back.